Good day to all sons and daughters of Oduduwa, home and diaspora. I'm here to appeal to your conscience over the lingering crisis on Iṣẹṣe or no Iṣẹṣe in Ilorin. Iṣẹṣe or no Iṣẹṣe in Ilorin should not be the issue on the bouncing banner of Yoruba nation at this point in time. It shouldn't be. Therefore, some of us are becoming suspicious of hidden agenda by the advocates of Iṣẹṣe or no Iṣẹṣe in Ilorin, especially those who are trying to apply fundamental enforcement on the crisis. The issues to be determined here are: one, who owns Ilorin? Two, what is the genesis of religion in Yorubaland? Three, who are the people in Kwara State? Four, what is the difference between Ilorin Afanja and Ilorin Gerialimi? And probably five, is there any difference between Ilorin Metropolis and Ilorin, the capital city of Kwara State? Please, let us take a look at the issue dispassionately, going through the geography, the history, and ethnography of the people. When you say Kwara State is made up of 16 local governments, out of which only 4 don't speak Yoruba. And the 4 are Baruti, Kayama, Edu, and Patigi. The remaining 12 are Yoruba speaking. Out of these 12, there is 5 that make up Emirates. Ilorin Emirates Council. They are Ilorin West, Ilorin South, Ilorin East, Asa, and Moro. Out of these 5, there is 2 that is different. The 2 are Moro and Asa. The difference here is that in those 2, you can have multiple religion. in them, especially Christianity and Islam, plus Iṣẹṣe. The remaining three, Ilorin West, Ilorin South, and Ilorin East, there is no history of Iṣẹṣe after the loss of Ilorin city to Islam. We are coming to that. We didn't lose Ilorin to Fulani, but we lost Ilorin to Islam. Then, what is the composition of Ilorin Emirate? Ilorin Emirate is made up of powerful warships and Afanja family under the emir. The emir is the head. We have 4 Baloguns, out of which 2 are Muslim. I'm sorry, we have 4 Baloguns, out of which 2 are Yorubas. The other 2, 1 Fulani, the second one Hausa. Those who are Yorubas are Balogun Ajikobi and Balogun Alanamu. The other Yoruba in the council are Magaji Are, who is the second in command, that is the 5th chairman to the emir, is representing Afanja family in the council. Also, Baba Saleh is also a member of Emirate Council, who is a cousin to Magaji Are. So those 2 are from Afanja family. Now, when we are talking of the council now, out of the 7, Yoruba already has 4. Already has 4. You see? So, the issue of marginalization or whatever against Yoruba doesn't arise up to that level. If we go to the making of Ilorin, how did Ilorin come to be? Ojo Isekuse was the founder of Ilorin. He was from Old Oyo Ile. Followed by Emela, who was from Ila-Orangun. Followed by Pashin and Alugbe. Then followed by Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò Àfọ̀njá lọ́kọláya Alùgbìnrin Ọ̀tẹ̀. They were all from Oyo Ile, with the exception of Emela. And where is Oyo Ile? or where was Oyole, rather. Oyole still exists in Kwara State, the capital of the old Oyo Empire. It still exists within the geographical precinct of Kwara State. It is between Bodesadu and Jeba. It is still there. It is surprising that succeeding governments in Kwara State have not thought it wise. They are sleeping on their duties to have converted that place to a monument, to an international tourist center. The headquarters of the defunct Oyo Empire. Well, that is a story for another day. We are all familiar with the history of the Afanja rebellion against the empire. And the long and short of the story was another rebellion against Afanja rebellion, which made the Yoruba to lose Ilorin. That was the beginning of that era, marked the end of Afanja dynasty to Alimi dynasty. During Afanja, in the period of Afanja, religion, traditional religion, Iṣẹṣe and all the rest were practiced without let or hindrance. Look, the old Ilorin Central Mosque, built in 1820, was the shrine, was Afanja's shrine, where they worship Asabari. But when Afanja lost the battle, the Muslim turned it to a central mosque. Just like Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did in Mecca to the Holy Kaaba. So there was freedom of religion, traditional religion. But Iṣẹṣe, in the concept of going to a stream or river, worshipping, lacks roots in Ilorin history. During Afanja, of course, the circumstances of Afanja's birth had something to do with Iyemaja, because history tells us that his parents begged Iyemaja give birth to him. But throughout his life, it was not in any written record or even oral tradition that Afanja or his family went to any stream for worshiping Iyemaja. Of course, if you have witnessed Durbar Festival in Ilorin, and if you have not, you can come and watch it next year, inshallah. The Afanja family, you may see them with a pot with water, you know, just as a symbol of their, culture. You know, it's the culture now, not religion. It's a culture, not religion. You see them with that pot of water, singing and dancing. Iyemaja Oguma ye Iyemaja o Iyemaja Oguma ye Iyemaja. That was all. When rebellion against Afanja consumed him, Yoruba did not fold their arms. Yoruba led military campaign against Ilorin. And the most interesting there was that the campaign against Ilorin was by Yoruba, and the Ilorin army was also led by Yoruba and other tribes led by Fulani. So meaning that suggested that the battle to regain Ilorin was not a battle of supremacy between Yoruba and Fulani or any other tribe, but a battle to make Ilorin the citadel of Islamic knowledge and religion. All those Yoruba are, the warriors on the side of Ilorin who are Yoruba, they are all Muslims, including some Obas in the traditional Yoruba settlements. They all join Ilorin against the Yoruba army. These are the wars fought to regain Ilorin that were lost to Ilorin. The first one was Ogele War, Mugba War, Pama War, Kala War, Adinimale War, and the mother of all battle was that of Jalumi. Which ended the wars between Yoruba and the Fulani at Cotton River. That was the period Captain Boa came to draw the boundary between the Yoruba and the North. There was fantastic history in that one, which we cannot go into now. Yes, we are talking of religion in Yorubaland. What are the religions do we have in Yorubaland? Iṣẹṣe, Islam and Christianity. Was it Fulani that brought this religion to us? I won't answer it. You can get the answer after this explanation. When Oduduwa was coming to Ife, Oduduwa came with many priests. Notable among of them were one Islamic cleric with a copy of Holy Quran. And Fatilu, otherwise known as Agbon Meregun, the founder of Ifa science. Oduduwa came to Ife with so many, deities. Some history says about 201. What we are trying to prove here is that Islam did not come to Yorubaland through Fulani. Oduduwa had the first contact with Islam, but he did not practice it. This is a proof. The copy of the Holy Quran the Alpha brought was known as Idi because they didn't know it as anything. They call it Idi because it was the old fashion of Quran that was handwritten. So it is written in pieces, pages. So put it together one by one, and then put it in a leather, cover, and tie it with rope. That is where they derived the name Idi. That thing that Alpha used to tie, Idi. And Oduduwa gave the Alpha a house a little bit far from the traditional worshippers, because Oduduwa believed that his religion, was pious, and Oduduwa always consulted him whenever the need arose. That house, the Ife called Ule, that is house, Ule, which in Oyo dialect we call Ile. The Quran that they tie like this, where it resides, then they call it Ule Udi. Ule Udi now come to Iledi shrine. If you are interested, you can go to History of Yorubas by Samuel Johnson. Go to page 4. It's there. When the Alpha died, Oduduwa continued to consult the Alpha in absentia, maybe the spirit of Alpha, anytime the need arose. And he always got results, positive results. Oduduwa will go in seclusion for 3 days, sometimes for 7 days. Maybe when there was famine or drought or whatever. And when he want to seek military assistance. So anytime he went there into seclusion and came out, what he prayed for, the answer came immediately, according to his belief. So, up till now, the place where that Quran was resided and the Alpha resided was the place where the Ooni went into seclusion before installation. Where the Ade Ari Oduduwa's crown will be won. It is the same thing that was done to Olojo Festival in Ife. Up to today, it is the same place where that Alpha is that Ooni will go into seclusion before he declared Olojo Festival. And when he declared it, he went into seclusion and then came out with Adeari in celebration around the town and city. That was history. Okay? The history of Islam in Yorubaland predated Uthman Dan Fodio jihad, because in Oyo Empire, the Malians who brought religion Islam into Yorubaland built a mosque in 1550 in Oyo Empire, old Oyo Empire. The dilapidated structure still there, which I think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should please assist Kwara State to turn that place to a monument and international tourist center. In Iwo, the mosque that was built by one Muhammad Lamuye was in 1655. In Iṣẹṣe, the mosque was built in 1760. In Lagos, the Shitabe family brought Islam in 1774 and constructed an Islamic edifice called a mosque along Martin Street with only 30 pounds or thereabouts. It's still standing erect there. In Saki, a mosque was built in 1790. In Omukpo, in the Yorubaland, Kwara State, Islam came to the town through a princess called Nana Aisha from Oyo-Ile in 1788. The Ilorin Central Mosque old Ilorin Central Mosque, the first mosque built by Alimi, was in 1820. And I think I've mentioned it that the site of that mosque was a shrine where Afanja and his people worship Asabari. It was a shrine captured and converted to a mosque. Now, what about Osogbo? Osogbo had his first mosque in 1889. So, I mean, Islamic religion didn't come to Yorubaland through Fulani, but Islamic civilization did. Because after the loss of Ilorin to Islam, the Fulani was the one that was spreading Islam into the nook and cranny of Yorubaland. Yes. Teaching people, you know, in the Islamic culture, Islamic tradition, Arabic, you know, how to read and write in Arabic, and all that. Yes. They were the one spreading and propagating. They contributed a lot in that respect. What about Christianity? The first Christian missionary that brought Christianity to Yorubaland was Methodist under Reverend T.B. Freeman to Abeokuta in 1842. Christianity came to Lagos in 1852, 1842 in Abeokuta, but in Lagos by Anglican missionary was 1852. Christianity came to Offa in Kwara State through Osogbo by Bishop A.W. Smith in 1907. Christianity came to Ibadan, also in Kwara State, through one Ijesha man called Jegede in 1920. Christianity came to Umupo in Igbomina land in Kwara State through Esie in 1926. Ilorin had no contact with Christianity. There was no history of contact with Christianity in Ilorin traditional settlement. But there was contact with Christian civilization in Western education. That was 1915 and 1934 respectively, when Okesuna and Pakata provincial elementary schools were established. These are facts of history. All this, we have been living together. Even during the Ilorin Native Authority, when the Yorubas could be said to have been subjugated by the Fulani, they didn't tamper with our religion. No. Though they turban our obas, they install and turban our obas. That turbaning didn't mean acceptance of Islam. No. But simply connotes acceptance of Fulani supremacy. That's all. Everybody was practicing his religion. Muslims, Christians, and the traditional faithfuls. Nobody disturbed the other. In my own town, Ompo, in the olden days when I was younger, much younger, how many times did you did we go to a river Osin? There was a river that had its source in Ilaorangun and passed through all major towns and cities of Yorubaland land, through to Okeoyi and Eyenkoni here. We went there. Worship. As young boys and girls, we follow our parents when they are, just because of what we are going to eat there. But they were doing their things the way they believe, and Muslim never, confronted them. No religion disturbs the other, except where there were excesses of overstaying some boundaries by any of the religion. Shao is an ancient Yoruba town in Moro local government, and the Moro local government is a member of Emirate Council. That is where we have Oba Etutu, Bolaji Ajakitipa. That is why we have Oba Etutu of Kwara State. He does his things every week. He was not disturbed by the Muslims, either the Muslims in Shao or Muslim from Ilorin. So, when the Muslims in Ilorin raise objection to the novel idea of worshipping Iyemaja at a stream in along Jeba Ogbomoso Road there, that had no root in history, they could be justified. They could be justified. And in fairness, we have to give to Caesar what is Caesar, and to give God what belongs to God. It is unthinkable that Yorubas can take this matter up and start beating war drums over non-issue, because this is non-issue. We have so many challenges confronting Yoruba nation that we are yet to address. Okay, tell me, where is Igboho Oòṣà? Iba Gani Adams lóògùn ọ̀fẹ́ o, lóògùn ọ̀fẹ́ o, lóògùn ọ̀fẹ́ o. Were you not warning Igboho, sir, to tread softly, softly? Where is Igboho, sir, today? That was the period when Yoruba was not in charge. So Yoruba seems to have abandoned Igboho, sir, to his problem. They are now warming up for another. Please, for God's sake, for the sake of Oduduwa and generations yet unborn, we should sit the sword. We should not. This is a bait. We should not play. We should not buy into it. It is a bait by the enemies of Oduduwa. We have been struggling to become number one citizen of this country. Our leaders were humiliated, victimized, killed. We fought a war. They used us to fight a war, and the war ended without borrowing a kobo. And yet, Oduduwa's son won an election, and the election was annulled. Now, God seems to have removed the jinx placed on Yoruba nation by Alaafin Aole, that Yoruba will never be united, that Yoruba will continue to be slaves, that Yoruba will send their children on errand and they will not come back to give them feedback. Thank God, Christian and Muslim leaders in Yorubaland have waged war against this cause on Yoruba. And that was why our prayers were answered in 2023. When Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the president of this country against all odds. Yoruba, think, put on your thinking cap. They didn't want Asiwaju to be there. They mounted different obstacles to stop him. But Yoruba ancestors did not allow them. It is melancholic. It is sorrowful that we can still find some Yorubas who are working surreptitiously with the enemy of Yorubas to allow this opportunity to slip by. God will not allow them. Our ancestors will not sleep. Oduduwa will not sleep. Onanya will not sleep. Basonu Ajagante Ajengetiele Fufu Ferry, they will not sleep. Ogedegbe Gbogungboro Lejesa will not sleep. We should all rally support for Bola Tinubu. We should not, Yoruba should not do anything that can disturb the peace and tranquility of this country. Our brother, the legal luminary, human rights advocate, Femi Falana, was trying to spearhead fundamental enforcement. Where do you enforce what? Ah, I mean, it's a son telling us a different meaning of freedom, that freedom is absolute. There are limitations to every freedom. Can Femi Falana come and cast his vote in my ward? If there is okay, now there is a vacancy. The Oyomesi are trying to fill the vacancy of the, I mean, to the Alafin stool. Can Femi Falana, enforce my right to go and contest? What are we talking about? Let us be courteous. Let us exercise restraint. Now that Oduduwa's son has been given the mandate to pilot the ship of this Federal Republic, we should not, either by omission or commission, either by action or by default, contribute to anything that can disturb the peace and tranquility of this country. Okay, look at it. The new police commissioner in charge of Kwara State is a Yoruba. A woman of masculine trait and character, professional to the core. She has not even settled down before giving her this unnecessary assumptions about Iṣẹṣe or no Iṣẹṣe. When we cannot use this our power of Iṣẹṣe to put an end to kidnappers who have been kidnapping our chiefs and obas, kidnapping us, collect ransom. They don't allow our farmers to go to farm. We are facing economic hardship in this country. And yet, some people are now trying to perfect history to suit their selfish interest. Advocating for war in Ilorin over Iṣẹṣe. It should not happen, and it can never happen by the grace of God. So, this is my message. I want to end up with a lyric by Hubert Ogunde that says, yo 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 Yorùbá ronú ó wí mo bójú wáyé o ayé sá mọ́lámọ́lá mo mọ̀ bójú wọ̀run òkùnkùn ló ṣe bólẹ̀ rè ó wí kí ló dé sí Yorùbá o ọmọ aráyé èmi ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Yorùbá o ọmọ Oòduà o yo 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 Yorùbá ronú o Yorùbá sọra wọn di bọ́ọ̀lù yáráyé ń gbá wọ́n bá gbá wọn sókè wọn sì ń gbá wọn sísàlẹ̀ yo 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 Yorùbá ronú o. I am yours truly in the house of Oduduwa. I am ọmọ olóhùn àpẹ̀rẹ̀ ọmọ ọlọ́rọ̀ agogo. Èmi lọ́mọ àsìgbà lọ́nà àtòmù. Ọmọ béwúrẹ́ sọnù bágùntàn sọnù ká má mú lọ̀ mí. Èmi ìṣẹ́gbẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ yẹn mo ìṣẹ́gbẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ran. Èmi kan náà tó lọ́mọ ọlọ́jẹ́ òkóso ọmọ ariwo gángan pé náà kí èmi lọ́mọ àrè pàgídà sọ́gídọ̀dọ̀ tọ̀ èèyàn. Ojú òtún rárí o ire o.